Yes, I made almost 1,000% on NVIDIA, and this is my story. Hi everyone, this is Sasha, tech founder and investor, and today I want to share how I was able to invest in NVIDIA when no one was talking about it, the lesson I learned, and also one big mistake I made. Hopefully it's going to be useful. Let's get into the video. Quick background on NVIDIA, in case you were not living in this world in the last 4 years. NVIDIA is the most valuable company in the world, more than $3 trillion and bigger than Apple. It was created because we needed GPU, graphical card unit, for gaming and also machine learning. And lastly, it got crazy popular and super hyped in the last few years after ChatGPT came out, because every big companies that want to create this new LLM model wants this NVIDIA Tesla card that are the best in the world. First, how did I get into NVIDIA? Well, I don't know about you, but when you play either game or you want to run machine learning model, you need like a big computer. And so in 2018, I think roughly, I started to build my own, big tower. And my main issue was that running all this machine learning model to do stock prediction was just not possible on my MacBook. At the time, even I had a MacBook Air. So that's where I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy a GPU and run those machine learning model on them. And so I did that. I bought this one, this MSI GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. And you can see it's like for gaming, and it shows MSI, which is like a gaming brand. But behind the hood, it's NVIDIA, GPU. And so it was great. Like suddenly all my machine learning prediction model was running, 10 times or even 100 times faster. And that's really how I got into, hands-on working with NVIDIA products and really see the pain point and see the solution. So let's get into part 2. Okay, so let me show you my small investment in NVIDIA. You can see here I'm 956%. So it means I put like 200 euro and I basically make 1,000%. But to show you when I invested, I started to invest early 2020. And I sold some here at 500%. And I sold some at 900%. Let me show you their financial as well. So you can see that it's an exponential growth, revenue and net income. Net income in 2024 is getting insane, $30 billion. So yeah, my mistake was to sell too early. Third part for me is mining, especially mining Bitcoin. In the early days, a lot of people were using their own GPU, NVIDIA GPU, to mine Bitcoin. And at that time, actually a ton of people made a ton of money. Right now, it would be silly because you would likely pay much more in electricity than to make any money. So it's not useful right now. And now there is, proper mining machine for Bitcoin. I can talk about it in another video. Let me know if you're interested, because I bought, 2 machines for more than 20,000 euro a few years ago. So I have experience in it. And I wanted to show you this quick story because this guy was basically invented GPU mining, but he's also famous for the pizza story. I don't know if you heard about it. So let's listen to it for a few seconds.
When I say Bitcoin, you say what?
Pizza.
This is Laszlo Hanyet of Jacksonville, and it was a pizza delivery order 9 years ago that began the cryptocurrency craze.
I just told people I wanted a pizza and I want to pay with Bitcoin. I didn't want a gift card. I didn't want some weird exchange. I wanted to give you Bitcoin and you give me pizza.
The 37-year-old computer programmer created this thread in an online forum and posted that he would pay someone 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. A user from England took him up on the offer, and these pizzas were delivered to Hanyet's home. At the time, the 10,000 Bitcoins were worth about $40. Today, they would be worth $100 million.
People ask me, oh man, what an idiot. Why didn't you keep that Bitcoin? And it's like, well, somebody had to start it off.
Anyway, it's a funny story, but it shows you that at the time, he was basically mining Bitcoin to get those 10,000, and he was super profitable. But now, yeah, as I say, it's not useful anymore. My fourth point is the trend, the AI trend, the machine learning trend. And most people cannot think in exponential, but you as a developer and as a tech founder, you know that everything is about exponential. Like, when you invest in SEO, you know that the first 6 months you have almost no traffic, but then suddenly it's going to compound and you're going to get a ton of traffic. And same for investing, you invest, you do DCA, like dollar cost averaging, and suddenly with the compounding interest and the compounding growth, it will eventually, skyrocket and exponential. So it was the same for me. I had the belief that I was seeing hands-on AI was growing and we needed more machine learning, more GPU to train those models for image recognition. A bit less, for me, I was more focused on image recognition and, predictive pattern, less on like the text area. But still, I was seeing that it was improving. And most people, when you talk in 2016, no one was agreeing with me. So I'm going to show you how you can actually do that on Google Trend. And look, right now, what would you put? You would put AI. I'm going to show you why it would not work. So in AI, you can see that the trend, it grew a bit from, 5 in 2004 to maybe, 12 in 2016. So almost no growth until, of course, ChatGPT, and then it skyrocketed. So here, there was no way to really predict that. But that's a false narrative because we were not using AI at the time before ChatGPT. We were using machine learning. You can see that if you look at machine learning, there is a clear growth already, from 2013 and, keep going. And so you would see this pattern already with a steady growth. So you could see that it's an area where there's more and more traffic and everything. Now I wanted to share with you a quote from Peter Lynch. If you don't know about Peter Lynch, he's one of the most famous investors in America. He ran Magellan Fund for almost 25 years and was doing a 29% annual return, which is insane because it's more than double the S&P 500. He made a book about a few principles he had, and one that is very on point of what we are discussing today is invest in what you know. It's very simple, but it's very powerful. If you know what you're talking about, if you are the user of what you do of the product, then you will have much better chance to know if the company is good. Because you're a consumer, you're a user, you're an investor. So keep that in mind. My last point is about you. I believe as a tech founder or as a developer, we have a crazy unfair advantage to invest in tech stock. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Firstly, basically, we can see all the developer tools and products that we enjoy and use every day for our business or project. Secondly, we are surrounded by many other developers in our industry, and we can easily see all the new tools that they do enjoy. Lastly, because we are surrounded with this bubble of developer on the cutting edge of the industry, we know the future of the market in some way. So I believe with those 3 points, we have a very unfair advantage and we should use it for our benefit. Let me give you a few examples. I was still talking to a friend about Cursor.ai a few weeks ago, and he's a developer, a very good developer, but outside of the bubble of indie hacker and entrepreneur. And he was not aware of it. And so I believe we had like at least 6 months advance from him just because we are evolving in this entrepreneur mindset. I'm also seeing Lovable, the latest kind of no-code tool to, produce app. So this is the kind of product that you want to know early and you have a very strong advantage. Lastly, I can share my story where I invested in Beehive, the main newsletter that every tech entrepreneur is using. And I'm invested because I saw the trend and most people don't. If you're in tech, you're probably using a ton of cool tool and product every day. So please make a comment with the tool you use the most and you love and you want to share. Also, if you like this video and you found it useful, please drop a like and a subscribe. I will see you in the next one with more insight for Tech Founder. Bye-bye.